Up here, or down here in the bottom right, in the red from CJ Entus, it is Bunny.
And his opponent to the top left, 2 kills, TY. Top 4 Star League. Guy is having the best time of his career right now.
Yeah, and he's looking very favored to win this game as well. We've never seen too much from Bunny. He's had some shining moments, but he's going to be really tested this time around against someone like TY. Probably his hardest opponent in Proleague yet.
Would agree.
Yeah, I think Bunny came out maybe the last time he played in Proleague, and he had a decent game versus someone that wasn't
SOS.
terrible.
SOS.
Yeah,
SOS. He got the mine hits there. It was like a mine hit win, which is not like completely skill based. No, it's a good win. It's a good win, but still, like, SOS is very hit and miss. Still, he's not like the SOS of old.
He's definitely not on TY's level right now. You know, if you compare TY right now and you compare SOS right now, TY like 2 levels above.
Yeah, I could agree with that. TY, yeah, he's very informed. He's looking fantastic, and he is so close to getting an ult kill here. It's going to be so hard for BL, because it is going to be Terraform next if Bunny fails here, and that is fantastic for Mech.
Yeah. It looks like Bunny is just going to open up standard. To be honest, I think Bunny's best chance against TY is Mech versus Mech late game. If he's prepared for TBT specifically, if this is like the emergency moment of, uh-oh, what if things go really bad? Bunny's got a good Mech on this map versus TY. Maybe he's specifically prepared for this exact moment. I think his best chance is just simply to try to win in a late game, defend TY's harass. TY already showed in the previous TBT that he's all about that early game harass, all about that early damage. And if he can just defend, block that, and play a longer game, maybe he could just win straight up with his Mech versus Mech.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see as we get later on in this game. Both these players have gone for gas first. We did see Bunnies, or rather TY's, up there in the top left, come slightly earlier, but going to be very similar builds from these 2 players. Start things off.
Let's just look at having a quick look at Bunny's like recent records in Proleague as well. And he's not really specialized for any race. Like, he came out against Zerg a couple times. He came out against Protoss once and Terran once. So it's hard to kind of gauge, like, is he very confident in any specific matchup, or he's just like kind of well-rounded but inexperienced? So it's going to be interesting to see where he's at this game.
Yeah, it's we can really you know, say this point as many times as we really can. It's very important to notice the fact that they still don't have really a solid fourth. I mean, they've been trying to use Sky High sometimes, Bunny sometimes, Hush sometimes as well.
Ragnarok maybe once or twice.
But when you do that, you don't really give one of those players a chance to really get used to playing in the booth as well.
Yeah.
So they kind of have all these like stragglers who like sometimes come off and they're very hit or miss. And that's kind of how I feel, especially when he's going against TY here.
I guess when you look at Bunny, though, he is the player that's had the most results out of those potential 4th players that are pretty inexperienced. So it does make sense that they choose him for the playoffs. But can he deliver against TY?
Well, let's see if he can deny the scout, TY that is, because he is going for fastest possible cloak again. Notice the timing lines up even better this time. He's got cloak and the Banshee instantly started, both of them. Even a little bit more optimized than what we saw in the previous match versus Byung. This Reaper is going to attempt to scout this, and will be successful. So, very important scout here.
And he actually changes up his build because of that. He had the double gas. He had the option of going into Banshees, maybe if he saw something different. But because he sees the Banshee and the Cloak coming out of TY, he's just going to go very defensive here. Maybe even for a Raven after this.
Yeah, I would think a Raven after the Viking would make a lot of sense as well.
Yeah.
And wouldn't mind, I do like that as well. It's going to really shut down anything that TY might be looking for early.
This is exactly what I was saying earlier when I was talking about how I want him to just defend the early game and try to win in a macro game. I think that's his best option because TY is so known for harassment-based play in this TBT matchup. His early game is stronger than his late game. And there's the Raven you were talking about, Valdez, 100% correct.
Yeah. He wanted to get out the Viking just in case the Banshee gets there first. But he is going to see it now and even delaying it very slightly by that Hellion.
He wants to meet it before it gets here, before Cloak is done. It's exactly why he was looking for it. He also can reposition his Widowmine accordingly as well. He might even be able to just kill this with a scan.
He might be able to if he commits to it.
It's going to need 2 shots. One and 2.
There it is, gets it down, and he has a Raven back at home. Very smartly, though, TY, after getting scouted, goes for a Raven himself. He is going to continue into Banshees after that, maybe go for like a weird timing kind of play where Bunny's not going to expect it to come in, but he's going to have that Raven as well, at least.
We've seen, you know, all game long, Banshees always have a place. Even if they've kind of been countered and there's Ravens around, like if you find an angle in, you can do so much SCV damage so quickly. We've seen Maru make really good use of that in the past. So it's been a while since we've seen that.
No, but it's still very relevant, you know, that kind of play. Especially the Dream versus Maru finals in Season 1 of Star League was like the best examples. I think you could look at that. Oh, if this denies a CC, that would be so huge, and it will. Nicely done here. Going to even get that kill and escape. Oh, maybe not escape.
Oh, he's going to try to... Oh.
Yeah, no chance there.
Banshee says no.
Bunny looking very clean this game so far, though. I'm liking how he's microing everything. He's really making the correct choices and getting the scouts that he needs off. It's a good start for him, for sure.
Very heavy Hellion follow-up here, and is going to find his way into the side, perhaps, after a move out to run in and do harassment ground-based, which is pretty unusual in this matchup. You know, waiting for Hellion run-bys in the natural is pretty unique.
Well, this could do a lot of damage, actually. Everything out of place. All these SPVs heavily exposed and a fresh mule.
And even the Marines here bunching up. With the two auto turrets here, it should be able to push back those Hellions, but getting a decent amount of damage done.
Yep, but let's see how much TY gets counter-wise. There's no turret here. This is exactly what you're talking about. Banshees always have a place. Even if you think they're countered, they're going to find a way in and find some damage. He should be able to escape here with good control. And there he goes. He does escape with 4 kills in total. Forgetting to make that third TC into an orbital. Slight oversight here. It does cancel and make that now. So 3 CCs apiece for these two in just a moment as Bunny starts to finish that up.
Yeah, very even game so far. We're finally seeing the factories added, so it looks like it will be that mech versus mech. Good map for it, that's for sure.
Scan going down here. He wants to know, is it going to be mech? He sees this barracks with a tech lab, and that might mislead him.
No upgrades from it, though, just yet. So it's kind of interesting. TY really delaying that for now, adding no production just yet.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to play a super hard mind game right now, because I don't think he's actually going to go bio. He's not making any more Marines right now.
He started one more, but he's pretty heavily supply capped right now. No upgrades there, like no stim, no combat shields, nothing to kind of give it away.
This sort of timing attack is not going to work like it did last time. He's not that far ahead, and Bunny has Vikings and tanks to set up and defend. It's very different from what we saw last game.
Wow, Sam. All right, so it is going to be that bio-tank style. I was suspecting this in the first game, but TY didn't want to go for it. This time around there, let's see what he can do with it. Because, I mean, Bunny's already set up, as you were saying. I mean, he's got 3 factories pumping. He's got that 3rd command center. He's looking to take that 3rd base.
Yeah. And outside of that, I mean, this is Echo. We said how strong this is against Zergs when you use mech, but it's very strong against Terran as well. I mean, we've seen Terrans try to not go mech on this map, try to go, you know, Marine tank, bio tank to straight up bio as well, and it just has not worked that well so far.
Double armories, big commitment. Blue Flame. Set up a 3rd base. You know, TY was trying to push his 3rd base out faster using this style. Wow, 4 barracks being added as well. But already there's a secured 3rd base for Bunny. I don't think TY is going to find any angle of damage here. Look at, he's sending Vikings across the map. He's going to run into a much larger Viking count, plus the other units that Bunny has set up to defend here.
Yeah, he's trying for the north. He's going to try to deny the gases. I do like this. I do like this a lot. It's very important to deny gases if you can against mech Terrans.
It's also going to be about the positioning of the area units. Uh-oh, that Raven getting really low. It does go down. 2 auto turrets were dropped, though.
See, this is the problem. Those auto turrets are definitely not going to be as valuable as a PDD would have been. And now this is a smart move because he draws the Vikings away to control the air to push the tanks back, and this Banshee comes in, so it's a good timing here for TY. Let's see if he can make this worth it overall.
The Vikings of Bunny actually coming all the way back to the natural. Can't believe he did not make at least 1 turret to be just safe over there. Especially with the, you know, just Banshee's always a constant threat in this game.
Really big oversight there. Yeah, I mean, you can really just can't afford to let that go anymore. If there's 1 Banshee out there, it can do so much damage.
Imagine if TY had a 2nd Banshee with his tanks over here with the Vikings. He could be harassing the tanks when the Vikings go back to defend his mineral line. That would be so terrifying.
That'd be next level, man.
I don't know if I think this is worth it overall. It denied 1 gas. He needs to save these units if it's going to be worth it. He cannot lose these tanks. He probably wants to back off pretty soon, I'd say.
Yeah, he can't keep them there forever, that's for sure. It looks like he's planning to creep forward. Just waiting for the scans to wear off.
You know, we saw yesterday, Flash saw this big timing attack with MMA as well. You know, this sort of match where he attacked into the third base with a bunch of Bio and Marauders. I feel like we're almost seeing that at a TY. He's adding a ton of Marauders, but one thing is missing. It's glaringly obvious. He has no Bio upgrades whatsoever. He's just now starting +1.
Feels like he's going for just one big timing attack.
Yeah.
He's up pretty high in supply right now. If he can just find a way in.
He needs to find an angle. He wants to do what MMA did yesterday versus Flash.
Well, there's nothing but tanks here. No buffer for them currently. 6 tanks set up. He gets a huge scan on them. If he can drop on them, he can do a lot of damage.
And he's coming in to do exactly that. Marine's going to be dropped on these tanks. Going to take out one and gets the second one.
Yeah, really great use of just a few Marines there.
All right, now he's got the position here. He's busted open. He's really opened up the natural. Looks like he's going to be looking for it here.
Okay, good angle here to hit this refinery, but he still needs more than that. A Seeker missile even being used on these tanks, and he's going to drop Hellbats for the follow-up. Good angle here again on the natural, though. He's forcing these tanks out of position. Marauders could come in from the right side.
And look at those tanks up there in the top right from Bunny all alone. Going to try to drop now onto that one tank. Decides to go for these tanks.
Whoa, that's pretty ambitious. See if it works out. A lot of Hellbats.
Yeah, and a turret as well. Really actually doing some extra work here on these Vikings. This will eventually be cleared up, but he killed a lot of refineries and a few SCVs as well. 83, 84 SCVs for TY versus 56. That's where the supply lead comes from, really, that 30 supply lead in SCVs.
I'm not sure if it's worth it, though. TY kind of has to do the killing now. If he lets this go any further, Bunny's going to completely recover, and his army's not too far behind at all.
It's actually bigger at 83 to 60 supply.
There you go.
I wonder if Bunny is going to go for this counterattack or not. I think he really does have to go for some damage here.
I think he's just going to try to drop on top of this, come from 2 sides of this Hellbats. Turret's going up to try to counter this. He has some hesitation here. Might have seen those drops. Looks like he did. He's going to back off instead. Planetary up for TY, a smart move, but that was a really weird exchange. We almost never see fights like this.
Yeah, it was a weird exchange. It was really like something TY had to do a lot of damage, even remove a base with, but he didn't manage to do that. Now he's behind in army supply, and he's got a horrible composition. It's not like a really end game composition you want, especially if it's going to get up to the max point out when you're up against a mech player like this.
Yeah, I'm just kind of worried that Bunny's going to let this opportunity go. He's getting a lot of damage there, and he should be able to stop this drop. It looks like TY's still going to go for it, but coming back with some Hellbats very smartly.
Yeah, he doesn't know what's in those medevacs. Definitely could have done some rotations there, like swapping out with units from medevac, but just going to chase this down with those Hellbats again. And we'll clear this up easy peasy. It's just kind of a funny situation, as Moonglade just said. You know, this army comp for TY is just inferior. It's smaller. When you want to go for bio versus mech and you want to overwhelm the meching player, you usually want to have this huge force that just surrounds and destroys with a ton of Marauders, with you know, some siege tank support, but he's down in army supply. And I feel like you said as well, Val, it almost feels like Bunny is letting this opportunity, this advantage, slip away, as he's not really utilizing anything except using his units to defend.
Such a late 4th base as well, which is kind of a scary thing to look at. He's only starting to make it now, but you really thought he would try and secure it. Instead, just trying to make a huge army and just go for a big attack.
Oh man, he has so many Hellbats in these medevacs. He can almost just walk in with tank mode on these tanks.
Look at this, the dirts are not yet done for these front tanks. He's going to go for the big drop now. Oh, almost back.
Oh, nerve issues here, big time. Way too nervous to attack there.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake, turning it around, not committing to it. I mean, that was a scary spread though of bio. It would be hard pressed to even make that work, but
and his tanks are kind of out of position.
He took a lot of damage. He lost a lot of tanks in that.
That was bad. That was just a bad engagement.
Let's see if he can try to reposition here. We have a really nice sensor tower from TY that sees the movements of everything Bunny is doing.
Right, this is just one of those games where you could see nerves and experience are so important on the stage like this. You just see him, like, his movements are not crisp. They're not decisive. They're very indecisive.
He was looking great for a time, but this kind of situation when it's late game army sort of positioning, he's falling apart.
Yep, and look at this. He's bringing back almost all of his dropships to come deal with the harass.
It's not even that many units.
Oh, well, he's actually going to come back here. He's going to try to go for the drops now. He has committed.
Oh, no.
His tanks, again, in the wrong spot here from behind, and TY has way too much bio. Doesn't even drop all of his units.
No, it didn't drop all the units, and the tanks out of position. They're not in range of anything, so they didn't do anything.
His tanks were very poorly positioned, and his drops, just like you said, he just didn't even drop all of them.
He didn't even drop
half of them.
Yeah. Well, he's going to try to go for it now. He did get 2 tanks there, but he is losing those opportunities left and right, and now TY is punishing.
Yeah, this counterattack should be able to clean up the 3rd base. Nothing really there to defend except 4 Hellbats, a tank, and a Thor.
Well, I mean, this is a sad occurrence. This is just experience in the booth. Televised matches really matters. It's really important, you know? A massive lead, almost an unlosable game, but just having some nerve issues, having some commitment issues with some of his engagements. His siege ups were just oftentimes just slightly a few, you know, ranges away from where they needed to be.
Yeah, bad decision making when it came to deflecting this attack. Not counterattacking or taking a 4th base, instead just sitting on 3 base trying to max out. I think that was the wrong approach, and he really paid for it because TY was expanding behind the aggression.
Yeah.
This game just makes me feel all sorts of sad.
It was kind of a weird situation where he had the advantage, but he was almost too scared to take it. He's like, if I attack here, I could win the game, but that's really scary. I might lose. I don't want to do it.
Here we go. One last attack. Should be able to close things out. Those tanks really caught out by Marauders.
Easily will clean this up. Even with the Hellbats dropping here, he's just going to kite back against them. He has such a large follow-up army coming across the map. And why is he loading them into the medevacs to drop them? Again, they're already on top of the army. Just overthinking things here a bit is Bunny. And he will hold this off.
Just hold this off. But from here, I mean, look at the bases of TY right now. He's sitting on 6 base.
That's the story here.
Look at the supplies. I mean, he's actually just able to, he was even in army supply, but with the production tab going as well, he's just blasting out unit after unit after unit with all these bases. He's able to just remax it so quickly.
Yeah, complete desperation here as he tries one last time on this 4th base.
Yep. Scratch of the nose. GG. TY. 3 games in a row looking for that all kill.
Only one person left, and that is Biel. No doubt about it. Unfortunately for Biel, it is going to be on Terraform.
Now, Biel did win on Terraform before. It went to Game 7. Just like it went to Game 5 versus Innovation. He's won 2 versus mech against 2 of the best meching players in the world. If he beats Gumiho on Terraform, I'm like, he is the best Zerg versus mech in the world. But no doubt, TY, with this momentum, he wants revenge. He wants to prove, I can beat Biel, I will beat him. I've beaten him before. And Biel's got to be insanely nervous going to this match.
Yeah, certainly so. He's going to have to reverse all kill from here. That's nothing else about it. You know, he's got to kill 4 people, 4 KT members, starting with TY. He's going to have to go through stats, zest, probably life as well. That is such a hard task, and especially when you're starting off on such a horrible map.
Yeah. That's all 3 matchups that you just mentioned as well.
Yeah, there you go. He's going to have to be the best Zerg player in the world, which I guess he is right now, which is cool to say, but can he actually do that?
Well, he's come close before. I think he did get the reverse 3 kill, at least, if my memory serves me correctly. So let's not count him out just yet. Biel is a very strong player who can win multiple games in a row. And, I mean, there were even people predicting in the Twitch chat, outside of it, Team Liquid, they're like, you know, maybe Biel just gets the reverse all kill here.
It could happen, guys. It's absolutely feasible.
Could happen. But, guys, we're going to go to a 10-minute break first. We'll be right back.